How was the song? How was my singing?
Very nice.
Okay.
You can change. You can change your voice also. You know.
Yes, I used to sing. My specialty was to sing both male and female voice. I used to do both. So I start with a male voice, then move to female voice, and again come back to male voice. That used to be my specialty when I used to sing. Okay, anyway, leaving all that. So you felt good. Right. Now it is Shabda Rupa. First thing. It had a lot of instruments. It had voice, vocals, basically. But what you heard actually, if you really observe with Manasikara, is just vibration. Just vibration. There's no tune. The tune is created in the chitta. What you're getting is sound. It's a raw sound. But when you see the video, that's the reason, Ariu, I sent you that video. You get hooked on to that immediately, just immediate. Where you can't see the holes of the nose, can't see the hole of the mouth, can't see the hole in the ear. You can't see anything except for the actor and his action. So the drama is already projected on the screen of consciousness. Now the consciousness exactly takes that up, makes wherever there are gaps, it fills up the gaps. So when you see that song, you ask me what does that mean. I told what it means, or you found out. Sachin also said. Now that's from a movie called as Blackmail. Okay, so now oh, not only you, anybody will start to feel, this is a good movie, and just one song can bring in so much of sankharas, preparations. Now we might ask, what did it prepare? It prepared the ground for the consciousness to take over completely. Yes.
I just want to say I've gotten used to seeing the teeth and the eyes lately, so I can roughly see a skeleton kind of outline when I look at the teeth and the eyes.
Okay, but the voice can't do that. So
Yes,
there
yes.
would be gap. It fills up. You might retain sati for the teeth and the eyes, but the other five senses are charged up. Right? So unless we reach a particular point, these things draws us back. When it draws, it draws. When it draws, you become part of that. So now what happens? In my case, especially, I'm a singer. Yesterday was a testing time for me. My brother's son is married, so I'd gone out. And a week before, my nephew, that is my brother's son, had given me a call asking me what all songs I want to sing for his marriage. I said I'm not singing anything. He didn't ask me anything. Why you don't want to sing? He said, okay, thank you. Because they had organized an orchestra, and then they had organized a compeer or a MC. And she was making sure that a person comes and he comes to the stage and sings. Yesterday, I started meditation. And there are playing the songs exactly what I sing, meaning the lyrics. It's a testing time for me to not get hooked with the lyrics, but just observe. That gave me a chance to look at what is anagami, meaning in the midst of the same thing which had happened, meaning for more than 10 years or even more, I'm a singer. If anybody gives me a karaoke or anybody gives me a mic, anybody just says that, Vilas, do you want to sing some songs? And I get charged up. And especially of this actor called Kishore Kumar. And I know 5,238 songs for which I don't require lyrics, meaning I can continuously sing one after the other, non-stop. Except the voice will go bad, but otherwise I can sing. Meaning, how many songs can I sing? Oh, I can sing as many songs. So there is a game we play in India where it's called as Antyakshari, meaning ending of the alphabet. So they will give you one alphabet and then you have to make one song out of it, and then the next alphabet and next song, like that. So yesterday was a real messy situation for me, that they're singing the song is just here and I'm sitting here. The only difference here is that the door is, I'm in a room and they didn't ask me why are you sitting in the room. That's good news because I was on the third floor where they had the room and everything is happening on the ground and then we can see it. So the singing is happening, claps are happening, and so many things are happening. But I did not participate. Both physically I did not participate, mentally I did not participate. But it pulls. And when it pulls, the Vijnana will now manage the Rupa from the Rupa. So the Shabda Rupa gets into the feeling. So you start to feel you're a singer, or in my case, I am a singer. And I'm singing Kishore Kumar song. So then what happens? My whole body becomes Kishore Kumar. I become the singer. It's called becoming. Bhava Pache Jati. I can see I'm born as Kishore Kumar because it's all his song. So I'm dedicating all of that to his songs and the music. Whereas there is no music, it's just instrument making some noise because of what? Space. Yes, Harry.
In your case, shouldn't there be no pull at all?
There won't be
Right.
any pull. There would be pull, but the mind doesn't get pulled. See, until you become an arhat, dite dite mattam, sute sute mattam wouldn't have happened. Please remember.
See, if I say pal pal and stop, will your mind stop or it will complete dil ke paas?
It will go further. But there is no, what I can say, there is no holding on to it. That is not there.
Okay. Okay, so I observed that when I know a song, I cannot stop in between. I have to complete the sentence.
What happens is that when you are out of sensuality, you don't feel it any sensuous, meaning, let's say you're playing a song, you just participate without being there. But if an arhat, he can see this like an arising and passing of words coming and going.
Yeah. So you are not absorbed in the sense. Yeah.
Yes, even Pal Pal Dil Ke Paas, Tum Rehti Ho, that tune, the mind has picked up. So, what would happen is, in my case, once the song ends, that's it. It doesn't go further. Otherwise, it will be, you will be even you're not singing, it's going in your mind. You're playing it in your mind. See, most of the time, Sachin, what happens is when we listen to a song and we were switched off a song, that song will be coming for a long time unless something else takes over. That is, some other thought takes over and this is replaced. Otherwise, if you love that song, it will be there for the whole day, a whole night, or whatever it is, right? So you keep on playing it. Let's say I love this song and I like both the actors, that is the male actor and female actor. So now what happens when I start singing that song, I start to enjoy, meaning I put myself in that. So Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, Vinyana. Rupa is the sound and the sight. Vedana is the feeling I'm getting out of that song. Sanya is the perception what I'm making out of that entire situation. That it's a love song and his heart is in her and he's written a letter, and I'll start to see that myself being there. Yes.
So this repeating of the sound in the back of your mind, it's vitaka, right?
Yes, it is
So I
Vitaka and
suppose-
Vichara.
and because there's a perception, then there start to become vitaka and vichara. And,
Exactly.
and in your case, I guess it still happened a little bit. I mean, it's not vitaka, but the dhamma of the sound keeps coming because it's just a habit of the mind. But you're not giving any, there's no pull as a raga. So there, when it ends, it stops. There's no further vitaka because
Yes,
the mind.
because
Hold on.
now it is stopped. The song is not playing. So it is done with it. Just like food, you eat the food and there ends it. Then nothing goes beyond it. So what I wanted to say is that 2014 I started singing, or this what I shared. Can I not still go to 2014? Yes, you will go. But there's no enjoyer. There's no projection. But when I want to explain how did I sing, I have to bring those events, which is coming from Vijnana, magician. It's bringing all of those events back. What's the point? That's the reason he says it's a magician. Magically, the same experience is coming back to you. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, so puredhamma.net explained this very well. He was saying that when a person gets very angry, he stays in that anger for, let's say, 2-3 hours. In that 2-3 hours, he might not speak even, he might not do anything, but he is in the anger mode. So he has picked his Bhavanga Chitta changes to a temporary Bhavanga Chitta of an angry man.
Right.
And now he cannot come back from angry man to a calm
Normal,
man.
yes.
Like that, if you just see the song, you get pulled. The moment you get pulled, you get absorbed into that past life, let's say 10-year back life, and now you feel you are a singer. Even if you are not singing, you may remain as a singer. You walk like singer, you talk like singer for maybe 1 hour. After 1 hour, you realize that, oh, I have lost that personality and I don't want that personality.
Yes. Just give me a second. I will just come. I mean, you guys can discuss. I'll just come.
Yeah, so that was like when he says, na bhavapachya jati. So temporary also you can become an animal.
Yeah, that's interesting. I've heard this interesting example from. There's a book called Think Fast and Slow, where it talks about how the different part of the mind act differently. So they're saying they make people read articles of words that contain things like white, of slow, not slow, but associated with old age. Let's say, something like weak or whatever. So once they have read it, it's not anything on them, but after they walk out of the building, they start walking slower because the words are
Okay.
associated with old age. They
Yeah.
start.
So that's what people pick it up. And if we are mindful, we will not pick up which is not required to be picked up.
Yeah.
But the memory will remain. I think if we remind him, he will still remember 5,000 songs. But none of the song will take him back to that stage of singer.
Yeah, I wonder if for Arhat, it require active attention to pick that up rather than automatically pick that up. I'm gonna ask Vilas the question.
I guess he will never put an effort to remember. So it will not come like generally memory comes as a pop-up, right? Suddenly it pops up. That is because it has energy.
Yeah, what about Arhat?
So Arhat will not have any energy into that memory.
And would the memory still automatically come, or it has to put intentional
No,
effort for it to come?
it's one example Pure Brahma has given is it's like a lamp in a corner, right? There is no light in the room, but you can still see the lamp. That is the memory with energy, emotional memory. Whereas a normal memory is like object in the room. You have to put a torch light to see them. So if you try to recall, you will get it.
Mm.
But the emotional memory will come to you even if you don't attempt it.
Mm. Yeah, I was just discussing with Sachin. I was asking this question whether an Arhat would automatically have the memory come, and rather he will have to put an intentional effort to get the memory, or it comes in the
It's
same
all
way.
no. It's always intentional. He knows this is like I was talking to Ashutosh in the afternoon. He knows it is. He's bringing it just for sake of the worldly talks, or rather conventional usages. So he'll make the first person deliberate, second person deliberate, third person deliberate.
So just to clarify, in your case, the song start playing to finish, and you may get a memory of the flashback of when you're a singer. But Arhat, unless he intend to, it will not happen for him.
No. Why? It's like this. There is no avijja. An anagami has an avijja. Meaning, the difference between arhat and anagami is in the case of an arhat, the defilements are there, but they are all dried out. Like you take a seed and you remove the vitality of the seed and you throw it on the ground, it doesn't sprout. Whereas in the case of a anagami, the sensual is gone. Meaning, when I listen to this song, to be honest, right now, I don't remember anything of that song unless it is replayed. Then it goes back into the memory and I'm seeing it. Whereas if I were an arhat, I need to make a deliberate attempt, and then the vinyana is bringing it. So you're caught the magician in the act. So when we say you're caught the magician in the act, it means that you're able to see that it is coming and showing like this. That nothing like we spoke in the morning about Simba. And that doesn't exist. That doesn't happen in an arhat. Yes. I think Sachin had raised his hand earlier. Yeah, Sachin.
I think he said no.
He said no. Oh, okay, okay.
So let's say in the case of Buddha, when he sees Sariputta, does he have to make an effort to remember who he is, or the perception?
Not
also?
like that. See, that is where every suttas where they ask the arhat, it gets muddled up, complicated, because then we can't understand. Even Ananda has asked so many times, Is it a thing that you have no sanya, but yet still you have sanya? That's where we are ending up into. This argument ultimately ends up being saying that, oh, there is no Pathavi, there is no Apo, there is no Tejo, there is no this, there is no that, and yet it is there. Is there a state like that? And then Buddha says that yes, Ananda, there is a state. And then says how Etan Santan, Etan Panitan is what he says. How much Ananda picked up from there, nobody knows, because Ananda was a Sotapanna when Buddha left the place, meaning after his parinibbana also, Ananda was still a Sotapanna. How much he could really make out of that statement, only Ananda knows. But if you were to see this, say that what is deliberation? Deliberation is an act of bringing things together. Then you mean to say that Arahata Sankhara. We say Arhat doesn't have any of the five aggregates. And yet he has five aggregates. Give me a second. How? He doesn't recognize Rupa. No, sir. He recognizes Rupa. Dhite dhite mattam, sute sute mattam, mute mute mattam, vinyate vinyate mattam. So the first three, sute, dhite, sute, mute, is all the five senses. Okay. What it gets? Rupa. This Rupa can't he recognize? Answer is yes and no. He doesn't make a relationship, but he definitely recognizes. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, Arhat will have Sankara, right? Just not Abhisankara. So then,
I think you brought the right word, deliberation compared to sankhara, or deliberation compared to effort. We need to understand difference between deliberation and effort. It is totally different thing, I guess.
It's the deliberate attempt to make sense of something which is nonsense. It's like a child asks his parents, can you come to my castle?
Or a genie that Alauddin asking genie to do something and it happens instantly.
No, that is okay. That is still, there is some animation. So let's take this child. Like in the case of Aryu's son, 6-year-old. Aryu's son makes Lego toys, a house of Lego toys. Aryu goes to the market or wherever. Earlier there were Toys R Us. Now the Toys R Us is bought over. I don't know where do you get Lego toys. But let's say Aryu buys huge Lego toys and he gives to his son. And son has his room. And the son makes a house with all the small figurines, which he keeps it. And he has a sofa, he has everything. And then he calls Aryu, saying that, hey dad, why don't you come into my room? Yes, son, show me the room. Dad, here is the room. It's so nice. What do you say? Deliberately, knowing that there is no room like that, Harry would say, wow, what a room you have built. And Avidya being there in Luke, who is Aryu's son, would feel very happy. The joy what he is getting is due to sankharas, preparation what he has done for the home. The vijnana, consciousness, is making him feel that house. And no house really exists. And Aryu knows it. There's no house like that. Then Aryu asks, why have you kept your sofa like this? He says, Dad, I looked at you, how you kept the sofa, so I kept it in the same way. But why don't you push to the side? No, Dad, it is going to hit the wall. And he says, that's okay. But the son says, no, if I hit the wall, the paint will peel off. And Aryu says, good job, my son, you understood how to keep it properly. Whereas Aryu knows, even if it touches the wall, there is no wall. How the paint will peel off from a Lego toy. There's no way a paint can come out of it. But Aryu's son knows the paint is going to peel off because he has seen that if you keep the sofa to the corner and there's a line and it looks dirty and all that, and then he thinks that it should be slightly in the front. He says, wow, good. Then he finds a small cloth putting there. He says, Dad, here is my yoga mat. He says, yoga mat? Where it is? That one. And Aryu knows that on that you can't do any yoga. You can't even sit there. But he has to say, wow, good, because he has made somebody sit there. One figurine is sitting there. Isn't he enjoying? If Aryu is an arhat, isn't he enjoying it? Yes.
Yeah, and probably his child will also say, this is me, this is you.
So what Aryu would do is, out of compassion, he would enjoy every moment what his son is coming up with, without bias, without prejudice, without comment, without conclusion, without judgment, without anything at all. It says that you've done a beautiful job. How much effort you have put on this? Marvelous. This is exactly what every being is doing, to construct something which does not exist. And that's all is Lego toys. So now we can take this analogy to anything we are doing, whether it is about singing, whether it is dancing, whether it is working, whether it is software development or hardware development or this development or that development, real estate, roads, this and that, country, continent, whatever it is. It's the same. Yes, Arif.
Yeah, I'm just thinking the slight difference in this example and real life is that in this case, even my son knows it is somewhat fake. So he's trying to project himself into that to imagine. But in real life, everyone thinks it's completely real. There's nobody.
No, I will tell you what. When your son really makes it, he is in that. You try pulling it from him, you will come to know.
He has to put effort into putting him in there. Once he's in there, he feels like he's there.
That's
Yeah, but
exactly what I'm saying.
he get absorbed just like we get absorbed in so-called reality.
Aryu, whether your son is 6-year-old or 6 months old or a 1-year-old or a 5-year-old or a 50-year-old, absorption, samadhi, is part of everyone's life. Don't forget the Mulaka Sutta. It's not samadhi means positive. Samadhi is samadhi. Get absorbed. But it is michha samadhi rather than samma samadhi. That's the only difference. But it's samadhi. Getting absorbed in something is the nature of things. An animal also gets absorbed. A spider gets absorbed. A squirrel gets absorbed. A cat get absorbed. A lion get absorbed. A tiger get absorbed on what it is seeing and what it is hearing, what it is tasting, what it is touching, what it is smelling. All of them. But the perceptions are totally different. Same absorption. Perception is different. Okay, so when your son is playing on that Lego toys. Initially, he is just playing. Slowly, he becomes that. He just gets absorbed. In the same way, Aryu, for me or for you or for anyone who is working for an organization, we become that team member. We become that role, the title. If I am a senior software engineer, at that moment, I am indeed a senior software engineer. If I'm an architect, at that moment, I'm an architect. Yes.
And if we are not hooked into that, then there should be no emotions at all in any of the.
Absolutely. But we have emotions. Why? Because we become that. And when you become that, you don't want to lose it. The screen, this projection, has become the projector. Now, the projector doesn't want to let go of the projection. I'll give you an example. Husband is a projection on consciousness. Yeah. There is no husband in the projector. There is only a role called as husband, which becomes a projectable outcome. So when I see that person like this, like that animator is the consciousness, but then it's not only animating just the animation of sight and sound and all that, it's animating the husband also. It's animating employee, it's animating the manager, it's animating the director, it's animating the vice president, it's animating a citizen. It's animating anything you take it. It just makes it live. Isn't it so? So where it is getting projected? It's getting projected on the screen of consciousness, not on the consciousness. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just thinking in the example of a real projector. Usually, you put a screen in front of it. I mean, not a screen, like a color, like a transparent thing, so it projects some image. So when people tell you this is Apple, this is what they're putting different of those screens.
Right.
I mean, not screens, those films or
Right.
whatever.
So like in the morning, what I was saying that let's take the initial when we started in the Brahma realm of existence, as indicated in the Aganya Sutta, is that the light projected just the light. Right? So it doesn't attract each other. An empty mansion of Brahma comes. That's purest light. Now the Brahma starts to think, it's so boring to sit all alone. What if some beings can come? Accordingly, when their turn completes from the 31st realm, which is the Neva Sanyana Sanyayatana, this being jumps into that existence. And he sees Mahabrahma. So he becomes the first person. Where it is projected again? On the screen. Now the white screen light has Brahma there. So the Nama and Rupa gets established. I then prostrate to the Brahma, saying that you are Mahabrahma, you are the one great creator, because you were here before me. And Mahabrahma also would say, so be it, that's right. because I'm here. Yes.
I was just thinking, I know this friend who has been meditating for more than like a long time. He used to live alone and meditate for more than 10 years by herself. And recently, she really get into worldly stuff. Like we know each other because of politics and all that. But she's also very, she knows deep meditations. So just a few days ago, we had a conversation because she doesn't agree with the Buddhist view. She said, "Hey, you Buddhists just see dukkha. I don't agree with that." He said, "I see experience." So I asked her. She said she want to experience in this world and experience and have fun and all that. I said, "What is your?" I said, "Why do you think uh, is the goal of your experience?" She said, "As a soul, like when you're unlimited, you become so boring and so peaceful and almost eternity, and it become bored, and then it wants to create an experience. So she wants to get involved. So from her perspective, it's coming out of her, whatever Brahma state of mind she wants to experience. So she doesn't feel like this is dukkha, and she really wants this, and then she really hates the Buddhist view because it sounds like so negative about this experience."
Yep. So basically, the projection or the reflection is the one which has the problem. Okay? If there were no projection, then there is no projector. Because there is projector, there is projection. And the projector has only the light. It doesn't have any film in that. But on the light of consciousness is the film. As the film moves, the light is not moving. Film is moving. In the same way, each actions is being done here is happening on the screen of consciousness, not on consciousness. So the Yoniso Manasikara is about seeing this five aggregates to what they are and getting detached with identification of the five aggregates completely. Sati gets completely established because Indriya Samvara, and hence can see actor action. So you start watching the animation without being the animator. Why? Because the sila is so strong that it doesn't disturb the samadhi. And hence you get the wisdom. Wisdom of what? Wisdom of the animation. You got the vinyana, red-handed. So let's take another example. Same kind of movie. There's a chair and there's a stool. The actor sits on the chair. Actor A, called as Bob. And Bob is a builder. He is into real estate. And he keeps a Coke can on the stool. That's the first shot. In the second shot, what happens? Bob goes away. Lisa comes and sits on the chair. She is a smuggler. She has smuggled a lot of things and she had put all of that in a Coke bottle or a Coke can, which is there on the stool. So Lisa's job is to ensure that she takes the Coke can and remove all that, whatever she has put. She doesn't know which Coke she has put it, but she knows she's put it. But she forgot marking it. Now, Bob is going to come back in next 15 minutes and sit on the same chair. Same chair. And the footstool, it has this Coke. Okay. People who are sitting and listening to what I'm saying already have prepared how Bob is going to act, how Lisa is going to act, even though there is no Lisa, no Bob, no person. You have not seen a single female right now. Isn't it that your mind prepared Lisa? Didn't it prepare the Coke bottle? Didn't it prepare the footstool? And that's the magician we are talking about. There's no Lisa. At present, you can't find Lisa. As the story is narrated, objects starts to, and it's so vivid. If you had a friend called Lisa, she comes in that place. If you have heard about Lisa somewhere, one female, create a female. Bob, who don't know who that person is, prepared Bob. This is Sankhara, not Abhisankhara. This is Sankhara. Intention.
Yeah, like when we watch the whole movie and we are at the last scene, and someone comes at that moment, he has not watched the whole movie.
And
There is a huge
he asked
difference.
you a question. It's so irritating.
No, for him, that scene is so pure. Whereas we are so much loaded with the history that we have lots of emotion of the background. How was the hero? How what happened? This and that. We are so much putting into that one last moment compared to the fresh person saying the last moment.
Okay, I'll give you another example. One more. So we say, in general, that she looks pretty sexy. What does that mean? And nobody can answer it. But everybody presumes they understood it. It's again how magician works. See, sex is okay, understandable. Because that's an act. What is sexy? How do you define it? What makes sexy?
Triggering intention to have sex.
No,
Sex.
that's not what it is. That's not what it is at all.
It was never defined, neither it is there in dictionary.
Now you see, if you start saying sexy, 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 like in US, hey, what's up? Hey, what's up? Hey, what's up? There's nothing there. Everything is down. Nothing is up. If somebody were to ask me, what's up? Nothing, man. Everything is down. Right? But I presume through the perception, feeling, the sound is making that what's up. That means I have to answer to something. So the Vijnana magician brings first the Rupa, Shabda Rupa. Say, what's up? Feeling which comes inside you due to the Vijnana that is asking something. The perception is what's up means what. Sankhara is the preparation, what you're doing to answer to that person, what's up. The Vijnana is the experience. So you experience what's up. Okay. And this is how it happens. Just like I gave you a footstool and the Lisa and Bob don't even exist. So do Vilas and Ariu and Sachin and Shreyas and Ashutosh and all the people. They don't truly exist. They have a role to play. Consciousness does two things. It gives abundance experience of the role play, including their own names. That's the fun part of consciousness. It doesn't make any distinction. It is not biased. It's not saying that, you know what, Vilas exists completely and is a Buddhist teacher. He has to be like this. Now, when we started, Vilas was a singer. He was a singer. Professional, not professional is separate. He's a singer. How did he turn Buddhist then? Now you have to have a story. Otherwise, there is no relinking consciousness now. The bhavanga is not there. Got the point? If you don't link it, you're done. There is no phassa, so no vedana. If there is no vedana, there is no sanya. If there is no sanya, there is no sankhara. If there is no sankhara, there is no vinyan. But want to connect it. Tell me, what was Vilas earlier to singing? Were you singing earlier also, Vilas? Yeah, singing. Oh, what kind of songs? I used to sing movie songs. Oh, okay. But is it good to sing? Yeah, no, it is not good to sing now. Now that I'm following Buddha Dhamma, then I don't sing. Oh, does Buddha says that you should not be singing? Yes. But do you wish to sing? Once in a while, if somebody says that I want to hear to your voice, maybe I sing. Now, the Kama Chanda is singing. But I'm using Buddha Dhamma, so I know it is bad because it is one of the precept. So I will not sing. The chitta, each of the chitta carries songs. But there is no relinking consciousness because I'm practicing the sila. It cuts the bhavanga. There's no bhavanga. Relinking consciousness. Yes.
Yeah, it just reminded me like if I tell people that I'm into this meditation and stuff, people keep asking, "What were you doing before? How did you come into this?" I have to explain. I used to be a gamer, and then I got bored of gaming, and I got into this. So almost like that. In reality, that person almost had died, right? I was taking that role. Now I'm taking a new role.
Yes.
But
So,
by
but
explaining,
yes, you need to.
it's
Yes. Sorry. Go ahead.
yeah, no, it's almost like you said, relinking. It's like Chuti Pati Sandhi. Like I have to. Oh, this life was ended, and for this reason, I have come to this. So it make it continuous for them. So this identity is created.
Yes. So you need to relink it. And that's what people will ask. How did you get into it? Because in their chitta, there is blankness. They are not able to figure out how did it happen.
Or else they would think you've lost your mind.
Whichever way, but they are losing their mind. So they don't want to lose their mind. They want to relink it because the chitta has to be relinked. Now, for the relinking, they say, Vilas, tell me, I've seen you for long years. You were not like this. They have to say, yes, you're right. So that makes him at
If you don't give a good story, then they would have said you've lost your mind,
yeah,
because
because you have left them hard and dry.
Yeah, every big person, the hero or manager, company CEO, when we listen to their speak, what they are trying to say is, it was very tough. He worked very hard. He had gone through lot of pains to become CEO. I have never seen anyone who said just like that I become CEO.
Yes.
He remembers always the pain.
Yes, the pain he has taken, because that is always reserved in the chitta, pain. And Buddha actually found that.
And we also buy those stories. If it is so simple, we will not be excited.
No, that is the reason in Sri Lanka they make Sotapanna to be a real painful experience, because you had to struggle a lot to become a Sotapanna. If somebody were to say, as simple as this, then then I'm not that interested to become a Sotapanna, because it doesn't have much struggle. I want to struggle. I want to show that I've done something. It can't be as simple as that. Come on, you are understanding Buddha Dhamma, right? Yeah. So you have faith in Buddha? Yes. And you have faith in Dhamma? Yes. Then you have faith in Sangha? Yes. That means you don't have any doubt? No. That means you're not going to follow any rituals? No, I've understood what is Buddha, what is Dhamma, what is Sangha. Beautiful. Then are you following Sila, morality? Yes, I'm following. Are you breaking? No. Oh, you're not even breaking anything and you're following. So, do you know what is Rupa? Yes, I know. I've understood what is Rupa. Okay, great. How about Vedana? Feeling. Yes, I've understood what is feeling. Like that. Then you are Sotapanna. No, 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 I'm not Sotapanna. Why? What makes you fear you're not a Sotapanna? No, no, I'm been told that it's very, you have to do a lot of things. Like, if you were to ask that question, the Vijnana doesn't have relinking. So now it goes in circles to find out where it is. Now the magician is trying his hard to do the magic. Now where do you find a Sotapanna? You have to come up with a concept. And when you come with a concept, the concept will have a selling potential, USP, unique selling point, because you're relinking it now. Oh, just by listening to Buddha Dhamma, you're not going to become a Sotapanna. You need to do this. It's a huge one. It's a huge deal. It's a big deal. Then the chitta, which is the mind, carries these impressions, not at all there in front of it. This comes on the screen of consciousness. And then it attaches itself to it. It's saying that, now I understand. I'm the Sotapanna. Who says so? So my teacher says so. So now it feels relieved of that pain. So what it created is Atta Bhava, not Anatta Bhava. Atta Bhava. Meaning I have become a Sotapanna, which is Sukha, not Dukkha, right? Why? I'm not going to apayas. Now it is not anicca, it is nicca. See this how this whole equation works. And all of these three are created in consciousness. And that's the reason Buddha, looking at it, he says consciousness is the biggest magician, and consciousness is the biggest movie you can ever see. Chitrana. So this is what we need to understand about how consciousness works. So when I say I am a Sotapanna, on the screen of consciousness, a white comes something called as a Sotapanna. Now each chitta identifies that I am Sotapanna. That's the reason it's called Chitta Viti, a road of Chitta. Now every Chitta has this information. Now you come into Sakadagami. Some things have to be met. In the Chitta, you have to start cleaning. Then that Chitta carries non-possessive attitude. Each Chitta. In the Chitta, it doesn't exist because it's purified. Right? And the third time it comes, it loses any impression at all on the screen about Abhijja and Vyapada. So I and Dardan were speaking in the evening. So can there be a romance? In the screen of consciousness, there is nothing called that. You love everyone, there's nothing to hate. It's not that I love one person, I don't love another person. There's no bias, there's no judgment. That state, when all the chittas are literally not having abhijja and vyapada, that person turns into anagami because there is no fuel for him to come back into the same existence. Because the relinking consciousness doesn't have the fuel. So it waits. And when it waits, it doesn't get it. So what should happen? It should land into its original self, which was the Brahma realm. It goes back to the Brahma realm. Because there's no fuel to come down. And there's no fuel to go up also. It stays in one particular place in the Brahma realm of existence. Now come to the Arhat. Light and the screen are the same. Nothing gets projected there. Just for conventional purposes, he puts on the slide or the movie or whatever in front of the consciousness and says, "Hey friend, how are you doing today?" "I'm doing good." "Very nice." He now knows this is the first person I'm talking. This is the first person. That's the second person. Third person. This is this object. That is that object. That is that object. None of them are real. Because the screen itself is unreal. So there's no point in he holding on to it. So when the light of consciousness falls on this screen, the screen light is completely taken away. Meaning that small light which is coming from the projector, 6 stream of lights which are coming and falling, is obscured by this bright light which is called as panya, wisdom. When one Sutta Buddha asks, out of the 3 aggi, aggi means fire, which is the splendor, is a sunlight the most splendor, the moonlight is the most splendor, fire is the most splendor. He says the panya, the most splendor. Why? Because it directly lights the screen. So these frames which were coming on the screen get obscured in that dazzling light. Nothing is getting projected. The person who was seeing it like this doesn't exist. He starts laughing. Oh, shucks. You mean to say I was doing all of this earlier? Yes. And hence, there can't be no rebirth. Why? There's not even a speck of food sitting on front of that to establish. Because the kamma is the bija. Sorry, yeah, kamma is the land or the field. Consciousness, vijnana is the bija. In the bija, there is nothing there. It has been removed out of its essence. Yes, Arif.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, just like in real life, the more darkness there is, the more people get into imagination and fear and all that stuff. So there's more avijja when there's darker. And then when the sunlight comes, people see the reality, that get less fear. In the same way, when when there's more and more panya, you see things with more clarity and less avijja.
Exactly. So now when I'm doing this body movement, if I were to see that it's just a body movement, whether you do, I do, anybody does, there is body movement. There is vijja. There's no person. But when I do the body movement and I feel that I am the person who is doing body movement, it is a vijja. Because I am doing sankhara. What sankhara? With intention, I am doing something, thinking that that is real. But all of those actions are appearing on the screen, which I cannot possess it. And you, when you come next week to my home, no matter how much I love you, I cannot possess you. After a week, all our memories be in the camera, which we can replay. But what is the proof that you came from US to India? The photographs, which are dead pile. So when I flip like this, comes into action. In the same way, if I flip those photographs called as a video, it comes to life. And I replay that, the stream of the mind. And I start to say, oh, Aryu was here, it was so nice. It becomes past, Atita. Then I'll say, when Aryu comes next time, Anagata. When Aryu was here, Pachuppanna. Internal, Aryu. External, Vilas. Polarika, solid. Sukuma, the six senses. Then the remaining part of it. So I developed time, space, dimension. Yes.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's why a lot of people think life is all about experiencing. So when they're old, they can keep on replaying the things that happened in the past. So they relive those moments, and then they think it's the point of all the life.
And that's the reason. If you look at Apple, Google, anything, which gives you the photographic, says sweet memories. Why? The dead pile. So when you come, Aryu, I'm already speaking to a dead person. The only difference I'm making is after you go back, I'm formally deciding you're dead. Because I have only the memories. So the celebration here, it's another 8 more days you're here. Every day, like what Lasanta was doing when I was going to Sri Lanka, is to every day get charged up. Vilas, you'll be coming in next 9 days. Vilas, you're coming in next 8 days. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, landed. Now it is 3 months after I came back. You have not spoken. You got the point? Why? He's in his world of 5 senses. And I am in my world of 5 senses. Can I pick up this person sitting in that screen? No. So you appear on the screen of my consciousness like a dog is looking at its own reflection and barking. In the same way, I reflect on your consciousness, you reflect on my consciousness, not the actual consciousness, the screen of consciousness. Now, when it is reflecting or projecting on the screen of consciousness, the magic happens. It sets into the relationships. And then I start to feel based upon the rupa, then sanya, then sankhara, and vinya. This is in conclusion about Phera Pindupama Sutta, way of saying the Vinyan. If you are able to break this illusion right now as we speak, you have crossed the first hurdle, which is illusion. Done. So now you are in Nibbidha forever. Now you are on the path of release, which is Atma. So the Sekha comes the stage of removing illusion. Nibiddhaya viragaya nirodhaya upasamaya abhinyaya sambodhaya nibbana. With disillusionment having achieved, you can now see whether you have viraga, nirodha. So nobody has to come and tell me, Vilas, you're a sotapanna, sakadagami, anagami. There's sekha. Sekha means training. Nothing to worry about. It's fine. Whether I am a sotapanna or anagami, it's only the relative terms, right? It's only the relation. With relation to object, what is my state of the mind? With relation to the object, as an anagami, I don't get attracted or repelled. That's a good state to be in, but still a sekha. A sekha is complete release. From what? From that screen. This camera, my goodness, it's doing a wonderful job. It's giving me a vivid experience of Villa sitting on that side, which I want him. I don't want him to look old. I don't want any of the eyebrows here to turn white or gray. I don't want any of his mustache to turn gray. I don't want any of the beards here. There's nothing in gray. It's black. Wow. If I were to come closer, some white patches, but mostly black. Am I not looking good at my age of 52? Yes, undoubtedly. What a relief. Because people are going to ask me, yeah, how did you maintain this? Say, yeah, I'm doing meditation, doing that. Yes.
I'm just thinking, when we look into the things, let's say I'm looking at these different words or these icons on my browser. These are YouTube browser icon. There's this, Gmail and all these. So what we are seeing, they're just color dots. But what we're actually seeing is the perception.
Yes.
or actually say, oh, this is YouTube, this is, spiritual dot essence dot in. But if we keep staring at it, at some point you can start seeing the pixels rather than the meaning, the perception. So you can see for real what it is. Because you don't actually pay attention to the pixel when the perception is there, because that's where our focus go to. But I guess
Yes.
keep on staring, you can, I guess the Yoneso Manasikara kicks in and you start seeing it for what it is. And I
Yes.
suppose if I keep staring at you, eventually the vilas is lost. I can see you as actually. So I guess that's the
Yes,
practice.
that's correct. So the practice, you're absolutely right. So in one sutta, Buddha says that it's a vacant case. That has a deep meaning there, like what you explained just now. It's just a vacant case. You keep on looking at the vacancy and you'll see pixels everywhere.
Oh, vacant, not awakened.
Vacant, vacant,
Vacant, like empty.
empty, empty. See, I can show it to you right now as we speak. I come very close. You can see the holes here. Not even one part of the skin can see without a hole. What if you are able to see that hole in every damn thing, including this iPhone, to this, to the table, to everywhere? There is a sponge, like a sponge. It looks thick. Come closer and closer and closer and closer and look at it. You find vacancy. There is no solidity anywhere. If I were to bring my this hand or the palm, what I see, it's glossy, it's oily, so it is upper. Then if I come near, you can see the holes. So it gives a clear indication that solid Ghanasanya is actually not Ghanasanya. So it breaks the illusion. Now see, bring it here. The illusion is gone. But you see, when I put like this, it looks so dirty, basically. Asubha Sanya picks in. When Asubha Sanya picks in, you're done. That illusion is gone. Every name we put is an illusion way of recognizing.
Oh, so that's why a super sanya works, because when you see the skeleton, you lost the interest. When there's no interest, you see things for what they are, rather
Yes.
than what you want to see.
Yes. So then, first one. Kim mulaka avuso sabbe dhamma. Chanda mulaka avuso sabbe dhamma. Chanda not being there. That. And that light of consciousness is pure and bright. Abhasaram idam chittam is the state of Nibbana, because nothing gets projected there. So while you're here, are you, let's do something to you to get that aha moment of the consciousness.
Yeah, see if I can lose the vilas when I'm looking at you.
Yeah, from the airport to the airport, let's do that.
Can you say seeing the Vijnana itself is Nibbidaya and then losing the interest is Viraga?
Yes, understanding the Vijnana is the Nibbida. Catching the magician is the Nibbida. And then losing interest is Viraga. Correct. Then because you lost interest, it becomes Nirodha. Doesn't arise again. Because you have caught the magician. Now the magician is helpless. It can't throw spell on you. No more spell.
So as an anagami, there's still a magician, but you're always
Yes.
watching the magician. You're watching.
You need
You're
to
watching.
keep on watching the magician. Because it's a magician. And in Arhat, he has removed the magician. And hence an anagami is still a sekha. Buddha has admonished so many anagamis in the sutta, saying that you're wasting your time by becoming complacent, thinking that I'll go to the Brahma realm and stay there. You crazy guy, you don't understand the pain of staying there. You're staying, which is what you're doing right now also. What difference are you making? Here also you're staying. Here also you're staying. But you're making a graded difference. That is a better way of staying, and this is not, which is again raga. So rupa raga, arupa raga, mana, udacha, avidya. Can you break that jinx? No. How? That means nibbida is there to an extent of not getting caught up in sensuality. Viraga is there to an extent of not getting into sensuality. Nirodha is there to the extent of not getting into sensuality. Peacefulness is there to the extent of not getting into, but it is still lower than the 31st realm. He is not in Neva Sanya Na Sanyayatana. Please remember that. Anagami is not at that level. Sorry. Yes.
So this avijja always pull your attention towards sukha because not dukkha, because in the perception there's sukha. So
Yes.
whenever you perceive, you keep on getting pulled in.
Yes. So, Sotapanna feels it's glad that I'm a human. And he thinks 7 lives. Oh, I'll enjoy all 7 lives. Sakatagami feels, I have one more life. Okay, no issue. Anagami feels that I'm going to be born there. No, not here. Ah. But all are dukkha. None is sukha. Why? Because you have to be reborn. It's a rebirth ended for yourself is ending of defilement. The consciousness should not carry a single speck. It carries, it exists. It's not about I should be very proud that I'm an anagami. Oh, I'm an anagami. So, what does that mean? I'm still a learner. Sekha. That's it. So, the person whom you're following is a trainee. Please understand this. Yes. Yes, Dardan.
So I'm wondering, for the Anagami, if they're reborn in this higher realm and then thereafter they attain enlightenment, wouldn't it be beneficial for them to be reborn in that realm? And then they'll be of benefit, and then they'll disappear.
Benefit or no benefit, they became complacent. That's how Buddha defined.
But that's like if you become an Arhat in this life, you'll maybe be able to teach for 30 years.
So
And
that's
then you're
separate. Whether you're going to teach or not going to teach, you're ending your journey, you're removing the defilements, and that's
but
what
that's
Buddha.
you.
Yes. Not about me, anyone. Anyone. So what he said, even in the last words of the Buddha, appamadena sampadeta, don't stop until you reach final. Don't become careless, heedless, all that. Sampadeta is gain it. gain the end of suffering. Don't get into postponing it. It looks good. Like I can say, I'm at least minimum Sotapanna. Somebody argues with me, I can Sotapanna. So, you're a trainee, right? You just started in the Dhamma. No, I'm a Sotapanna. Agreed, sir, but you're a trainee. Please understand. Okay, I didn't know that. Yes, you're a trainee. In the dispensation, you're a trainee. Just a starting point. Okay, but I'm a Sakadagami. So, what is there to be so happy about? No, I have only one life. What do you mean one life? I'll be born again, one life. You are willing to travel this pain for one full life. You'll be born, be growing. You'll be born in one country. Let's say you're born as a human. You'll have to be born in one religion, whatever, whether like it, dislike it, or whatever it is. Then you have to go to the school. Then you have to study. Then you have to prove yourself. Then your parents will die. Then you have to have your children. Then you have to have your wife. Then you have to divorce your wife. Then you have to do something about it. Then you have to make money just to lose the money again. Then you have to make your home again to lose the home. Then you become old. Then you'll be thrown out of your home. Then you have to go to the old age home. And then you're going to get to the hospital. Then you have to suffer of the pain of that body pains and aches and all that. Then you're going to lose all your teeth. Then you're going to lose your eyes. Then you're going to lose your ears. And then, hopefully, you will not come back. Yes, Harry.
But the Mahayanist view will not agree with the Apamadena Sapadeta.
I know that we will not bring the faithful Mahayanas. Let's keep them aside. So, from the point of view, if I'm very happy to be a Sakadagami, what I'm saying is I'm willing to take the pain again, or I'm willing to take the ride again. It's a ride. So I'm now on a psychedelic drug. I have no idea where it's going to take me. Like this is taking me to this life, it will take me to some other destination, and I may know. What about Anagami? Is that the best thing can happen? First thing I had to hit myself. Hey, listen, you are still a trainee. It's an apprentice, junior apprentice, senior apprentice, but still an apprentice. A junior trainee, a trainee, and a senior trainee, but still a trainee. Yes, Ari.
That's why the main propellant on the path is always the dukkha. It's always the dukkha that keeps on saying, "Hey, here, and keep going."
Yeah. Don't
If you
stop.
don't see the dukkha,
Don't
then you're
stop. So if I were to stop, even for a moment, thinking that I'm an anagami, dukkha kicks in and makes it anicca to nicca, anatta to atta, asubha to subha. That's it. Done. Why? I feel proud of this achievement that I'm an anagami. When compared to the normal person, if I were to die today, I know I can be born in a Brahma realm. Why? I can get into the Brahma realm right now through my meditation. Fine. So what? What do you mean? So means I will be born there. But listen, compared to that, infinite space, born in the infinite space is much profound. Hey, wait. Being born in infinite consciousness is even more profound. Hey, wait. Born in nothingness is even more great. Hey, wait a second. Be born in Eva Sanya, Na Sanya Ayatana. Neither perception nor non perception is even more great. Because it's asankhya, countless, can't count. That means however the perception is back, which we don't know when, that person will come back to the next existence. Till then, is released from the pain.
Until this impurity in the chitta that comes saying, I'm bored. And then he started doing.
Right. And we don't know when it's going to come. So that mind made, that is chitta made state, can be there for eons and eons and eons and eons and eons and as much as it can without getting established. But it still exists. And when the seed is there, Kamma is there. And when Kamma and the seed is there, craving just pop. Craving pops, the seed will start to sprout. From Neva Sanyana Sanyayatana, it comes down. And hence you cannot fall back on the jhanic attainment. That's what it is. So Buddha says, profound, but the highest one is Sanya Vedata Nirodha, which we have covered a lot on this. So that ends our journey of these 5 aggregates in depth. So now we have to come back to the Maharahulavada Sutta, which we have kept it in cold storage. So someday we have to remove it. Yes, Aryu, you had some question. We will take that and then we'll close. It's already 10:20 here.
Oh, I don't have question anymore. Thank you. I think we should put it in the playlist for all the Pinapindapam. I'll create it later.
Yes. Okay, all right, guys, and good night to all of you, and good morning to Aryu. And I think it's what's your time for you, Dardan? I think it is 3.5 hours behind. So you're at 7.
It's almost 7 here.
7 o'clock. Yeah. Good evening. And everybody has come back to life. I can see their videos. So nice. So Dardan, before we close, we started with I being a singer. So how did a transformation from a singer to this happen is the journey of the 5 aggregates. Okay, so we start.
Good to know. Thank you.
Yeah, so you can be anything you want, but when Buddha Dhamma strikes you on the head, you will be thrown out of it. The delusion is gone. But I was a singer. I had even thought about having my own, studio one day. Instead of that, I made a Buddha studio now. You see this fun. It would have been a singing studio. Then what would have happened is that I would have begged for some singing assignments. I would have said, hey, please give me one song to sing. And how to increase dukkha is you go and plead, please, my voice is very good. Is it? Can you sing? Yes, I can sing. Well, you're a new entrant. We can't pay you more than $200 per song. That's it. Yes, only $200, which is even more good, actually. $200 is not much. So it comes to 14,000 Indian rupees, which is, now it is 16,000 Indian rupees. So not bad deal, actually. Not at all bad deal. So if I sing 10 songs, it becomes 160,000 Indian rupees. That would be my package. So I'll come back and say, what a singer. But the song is going to last not even for an album of 1 year. Nobody cares. So there is one Sri Lankan singer called as Yohani. A song became really became a wildfire on YouTube. And she sang very good song. So it is in Sinhala. She became so popular that the Indian film industry called her to India and they gave her residentship in India that she can perform. But one song became popular and she made millions. But not all songs are one song. Same voice, no difference. Same baby chubbing voice. But if she had meditated on 4 jhanas, that pleasure would have been much better than this. So it's like that. So we started with I being a singer, and now I have nothing to do with singing. Like that, I am a software guy, not being a software person. I am a, what is some, they have given me a life coach. This is another new term. I don't know what life coach I bring it, but that's what I'm bringing in. To whose life, I don't know, honestly. But that's another role. So I'm playing, the consciousness is playing the role of a life coach. Oh, like what Ashutosh keeps on telling me, Vilas, where do you get so much time to do so many things in life? My classic answer is I don't have anything called as time. I have all the time in the world. Anybody picks me on any subject, I can talk. Because I don't have my own time. Okay, that's it. And Dardan has progressed a lot. So maybe in his own words, sometime let him say, I don't want to cover up for him saying that this is what he has done and all that. So let him express, let him share his thoughts. Where is he and what is he doing and all that. If not today, some other day, I request you to enlighten people of what you're doing.
Okay, yeah, thank you. Yeah. Yeah, I'm a bit careful. So, yeah, but thank you.
Apart from becoming asexual, he has gone into so many other things, which is a good thing. All right. Good night to all of you, and good morning to you, Aryu, and meet you again tomorrow. Tomorrow we can still meet in the morning, 10 o'clock, if you want to meet. Otherwise, Monday I'm not there, Tuesday I'm not there, Wednesday, Thursday we are going. Or all the other days, 8:30, like can meet up at 8 a.m. US and 8:30 India, same time. Meaning tomorrow again we can meet at 8:30, is what I said. Not in the morning, we can do it in the evening. All right. Good night. Bye bye.